Alright, so I'm Brianna Gerke,
I'm Stefan Lee.
and this is our product, the Insta-Scab. Our inspiration for this product came from a sci-fi video game called Halo, where they actually use a similar product to this. Alright, so imagine you're in a car accident, and you look down and you have a gaping wound in your leg. You would apply our product, the Insta-Scab, to the wound, and it would fill up the wound and apply pressure to stop bleeding until the paramedics arrive and proceed with proper care. Now, the problem is that every day, people, at no fault of their own, are at risk of either being injured at work or at play. And now, normally people would cover these wounds with bandages or gauze. But the problem with bandages is that, say I cut my hand, the palm of my hand. Bandages don't really fit there, or in between your fingers, it's kind of awkward, really doesn't fit, or if my hands are wet, the band-aid's not going to stick. And the problem with gauze is that sometimes it comes too loose and then it falls off and you always have to replace it. And say the wound is really severe and requires stitches, and you are miles away from a hospital and you have to wait like 3 hours for an ambulance. If you knew how to suture, you're not going to want to do that to yourself. It's very unpleasant and just nobody wants to do it.
Alright, Brianna. Our solution, the Insta-Scab, would come in a small canister about this size, a one-use disposable product, possibly evolving into a multi-use product station that is about the size of a fire extinguisher. But whatever size it may be, the method of use would still stay the same. You would clean the wound as per usual, hold the canister close to the wound, spray until the foam nearly fills up the cavity, and allow the foam's self-expanding properties to provide pressure and stabilization to the wound, allowing the victim further ease of mind and allowing them to seek further medical care. As for the opportunity, we have realized that our product is not exactly suitable for general public's use, not as nearly so as, say, a Band-Aid, but it is reliable nonetheless. Preliminary market research has shown that our target market should be those who see injury on a daily basis, such as people who do extreme sports, their caretakers, but mainly first responding medical care, such as paramedics and EMTs. As for market saturation, our research has turned out that there are around 50,000 ambulances across the United States alone. Imagine having at least one of these cans used per week per ambulance in the United States. That draws about a maximum of $50 million annually for a supplier.
So currently, DARPA is working with a company called Arsenal Medical, and they have developed a product similar to ours, but is more geared towards battlefield technology. As you can see in the corner here, there's a chest cavity, and what they do is they put the foam into the chest cavity, and it provides pressure to stop bleeding, so they have more time to live, because currently many people are dying on the battlefield from such severe wounds, and this is saving more lives and giving them more time to receive medical treatment before it's too late. And the difference between what DARPA is doing and what we're doing is that the method of removal for DARPA's product is with surgery, like major surgery, not that the patient would need surgery after all, but we're gearing more towards less severe and smaller wounds. So our method of removal would either be peeling it off as easily as a scab or a Band-Aid, or removing it with some sort of solution so it would just go away. And so this is what we plan to have our product look like, either this or a bigger product or a bigger size. And if you cannot read the label, this is what our label says. It gives basic instructions on what to do, how far away to spray, and some of our chemical components.
With difference maker funding, we would seek to further our research into the pH values of the foam and how it reacts with the pH values of the human body, and also pursuing a preliminary patent so that if we find value in our research, we would contact a more mature company. presentation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
Are you looking at this as a medical device or a consumer product?
Medical
Um,
device.
Yes, at first we'd like to start out as a medical device, more focused in the hands of professionals, the EMTs and paramedics. But if we can sort out the issues that we have, like I said, pH, then proving it safe, we can get it into we want to get it into the hands of the everyday consumer.
So have you done research on how, so it does not actually mingle with the skin and sort of once the injury, once you put the material and it starts to
Follow.
right, that kind of mix with the skin and then you can't remove it or
Yeah,
like a Band-Aid, you can just.
Yeah.
That's an issue we'd like to find the answer to in our research, say if we got the difference maker funding, the biocompatibility of the foam, and the possibilities with polyol and isocyanate as ingredients with the info.
Is there something called liquid band? Is this a foam version of liquid Band-Aid?
In a sense, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, liquid bandage is more for like minor scrapes and like maybe blisters. We're trying to go for more maybe severe scale with this. Like go from.
Not as much as, say, a battlefield wound, for example, but on the home front, we don't see as many gaping wounds as you would see in more medium to large scale.
So the getting it out question is important, right? When you do arrive for appropriate medical treatment, the physician's going to want to get the foam out so they can properly close the wound, minimize scarring, all those things. So I think that's an important question. Does it also work, say you talked about extreme sports, does it work on like large surface, like road rash type of wounds, or does it have to be a penetrating wound where it expands inside the wound, or can it be more topical on like large scale road rash?
Topical wounds such as road rash would probably be better addressed by, as you said, liquid bandages, which is why we sort of geared our focus towards like voluminous
You
and
kind of need a cavity to
Yeah.
pop up.
Yeah.
Great.
Road rash can be a cavity too.
Yeah.
That's true. Depends how you got it.
Yeah.
Nasty stuff.
Do you have any concerns about bumping into patent problems with that company that's doing work with DARPA?
DARPA and Arsenal Medical have not yet reached into more consumer grade like they call it theirs, biofoam. Basically, we seek to get it for them.
Right, but it's not necessarily your target market, it's whether or not you'll violate their patent.
Yeah. We're not aware of any issues conflicting with their patent thus far.
And how did you figure that?
Looking into their patents and seeing as how we don't have a patent yet.
So you probably should seek the advice of the lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing I would say is perhaps your market opportunity might be a little bit different if it's truly, I heard you say early in the presentation that it was for injuries where you had perhaps a prolonged lead time to getting appropriate care and treatment. So that wouldn't be like every ambulance nationally, because a lot of them are in urban areas where there would be more immediate access to different types of care and treatment. So I think maybe I get the use case around extreme sports, remote locations and things like that. You might just want to think about the market opportunity as it relates to more rural and remote than every ambulance in the country kind of thing. Thank you. Nice job.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.